Hello everyone! Today I have a fairly simple card. I'm starting with a piece of white cardstock. It measures 4¼ by 5½ inches, and I'm just going to measure this out. It's going to be at an angle, so I'm measuring that down 3½ inches, and then I'm flipping it over and measuring this side 3½ inches, and then I will draw a line between those two points. And then I just took my paper trimmer and cut that line. So you could make two cards out of this, and it is similar to what I did the other day for the rainbow of cards that I made. Next I'm taking this Avery Elle stamp set. It is called Petals and Stems, and I'm taking the larger leaf image here, and I'll put that on my stamp block. And then I am going to ink this up with the freshly cut grass ink by Lawn Fawn. And I'm just going to cover this entire piece with these leaf images. So I'm just doing it kind of randomly. There's no pattern or anything. I'm just stamping them and then fitting them all together so that it's completely covered. Some of them are hanging off the edge and only stamped a little bit, but you can just do this however you want to cover yours. And I really like this Lawn Fawn ink. I think it has really great coverage, and the nice thing is they don't stain your stamps like other inks do. I know that's not the biggest deal, but some people really don't like it when their stamps get stained, so it's kind of a bonus. So then I'm going to go ahead and stamp a straight line. It's just a stripe. It's called Crossing Lines from the Alleyway Stamps, and I have a single line, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of put that onto my craft sheet, and then I will mount that on my Fiskars stamp press. And then I'm going to ink that up with my Versamark ink because I'm going to heat emboss this line. So I'll go ahead and ink that up. The Versamark is a sticky ink for embossing. And then I'm going to stamp that down right along that diagonal edge. There is a little gap between the stamp and the edge of that. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the liquid platinum embossing powder from Ranger. I'm just going to cover that entire line and tap off the excess. And then there was a few stray strands on there, so I just went ahead and took a paintbrush and it just brushed those away. And then I went ahead and took my heat tool and heat embossed that so that all of the embossing powder was melted. So then I'm going to take my same Avery Elle stamp set and stamp this largest flower image on a piece of Coordination's 110-pound cardstock, and I'm using the Hero Arts Raspberry Jam ink. It's like a really kind of deep burgundy color. It's a little bit pink but a little bit red. I'm just stamping that down, and you'll see that it's not quite, it's a little bit splotchy, but that will even out as it dries. So then I'm stamping the center with the Sunshine ink from Simon Says Stamp. And since it's a clear stamp, you can line those up really easily. And then I went ahead and fussy cut that part out with a white border around the edge, and I do believe they make dies for those too. So I have a white A2 size card base, and I'm just going to adhere my leaf piece on top of that so it's the same width, so it'll line up perfectly on my card base. And then I'm going to pop up the flower with some 3D foam squares. So first I'm going to stamp my sentiment so that it doesn't get in the way, and this one says "Get well soon." And I'm just going to put that on my stamp block and stamp that with my Memento Tuxedo black ink. And then I'll go ahead and put some large 3D foam squares from Best Creation on the back of my flower. And then that's going to go right next to my sentiment. And it's going to overlap the flowers and the white card base on the bottom. So then my final step, I'm just going to add a few white sequins. These are from Pretty Pink Posh. They are the 6mm and the 4mm. So I'm just going to randomly scatter those on my card and then adhere them into place with the multi-medium mat. And then of course you'll just want to let that glue dry before you mail your card to anybody. I just like to put a dot of adhesive down and then place my sequin on top, and then I go back and push all of the sequins down into the glue once I am finished. I think it's just easier getting all that glue down first and then putting them into place. And then that is my finished card for today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I will see you guys back here next time. Bye!